Firefighters will be working quickly to create more fire breaks like this one behind me, especially in the next coming days when they expect to see a change in weather patterns that could make the fire more active. Business owners were eager to reopen after Fresno County shifted into the less restrictive red tier. Recent COVID case numbers, however, could require Fresno County to take a couple steps back, meaning business owners may have to close their doors once again. Lauren and Margot, this demonstration behind me just started as a handful of people, and you can see that it's quickly exploded to hundreds of people in just a couple of hours. This is that same office now. You can see everything in it has been reduced to rubble. However, Allison says she still has the memories, and she still plans to call Alder Springs home. With the restrictions currently in place, many Madera County businesses have had to move their services outdoors, while gyms like Fit Republic have had to stay closed altogether. Now, because of the lack of testing, those restrictions will stick around a while longer. Warren and Graciela, you can see where that mailbox was stolen right here from this spot where there's only a couple of bolts left. Now, it was found right here across the street in the garage of that home. We're off of Inyo and B Streets, and I'm going to step aside so you can see the number of units behind me. You can see that the crime scene investigations unit is here. I know the homicide investigation team is also on the scene. On the roadway, we picked up some of these burnt, charred pages from the books that were inside the library, and the destruction of the building. You can see that there is blown out windows. The roof has collapsed. One firefighter has been confirmed dead. The other is still missing, and firefighters have to wait until it's safe enough to enter the building to retrieve him.
You got this.
Kiss and Cassie's going to hold this for me. I'm going to see if I get rich quick. All right, so it's, you said
okay,
put my hands.
Natalie, you need to put your thumbs up here, remember?
Okay,
there
right up here.
There you go.
Okay, and then I'm shaking it.
There you go. You're going to
shaking it. Oh, there we go. Look at that. All right.
You got this.
Can you guys see this? This is what we're using to pay for our dinner tonight. So take a nice good look. The superintendent of Catholic schools for the Diocese of Fresno says they're ready to move forward with traditional learning or shift to online learning if the risks are too great due to the surge in cases. Either way, the superintendent says the bishop will follow the governor's order. You can see that there's also power lines that were severed in this crash right there above the big rig. PG&E has de-energized those lines as crews are still working this scene. Now, California highway officials say that the call came in around 9:30 for a big rig that crashed into another car carrying 4 passengers. A trip to remember coming to an end for dozens of Central Valley residents. Since the lights have gone out, folks have been stopping by the Don Pedro Market non-stop, stocking up on anything from ice to flashlights to candles, no one knowing how long they'll be without power. These cameras will be linked to the patrol cars before they hit the streets. When an officer jumps into action, both the body camera and the dash cam will start recording. Millions of protesters continued their nationwide marches yesterday, calling for justice and change following the death of George Floyd. Right here in the South Valley, there was a large group of young demonstrators expressing their frustrations yesterday. In Clovis, a man led officers on a high-speed chase after ramming a police car. In the North Valley, the Madera County Sheriff's Office says a deputy has been fired after using a racial slur on social media. A former Marine who was shot Thursday night during a confrontation with a shoplifter is recovering this morning. An Australian lawmaker is facing criticism for his comments on the Christchurch shootings, but he's now at the center of another controversy that's gone viral. Chimneys and charred trees are the only things left standing in some of the smoky neighborhoods that were destroyed by the Creek Fire. More than 300 structures are gone, many of those homes. This is video of Crystal Van Aken's home in the Dogwood subdivision near Shaver Lake after it was consumed by flames.
It's just heartbreaking. It's just... there's no words to describe it.
Her family left the home on Saturday after seeing the smoke near the Shaver Lake Dam. The power, however, stayed on, and her Ring camera caught the flames as they moved closer to her home.
It was around noon. I was actually working, checked the Ring cam, and we actually saw it ignite in front of us. It had to have been a hot spot, but it ignited, and we watched it all the way down to the power lines until the power went off.
The many memories of meals, laughs, and holidays made in that home are all that remain. Unfortunately, that's the situation for many families who live on Alder Springs Road, as many of the homes there were also destroyed. Allison Brooks was born and raised in the area and says her home holds a special place in her heart because it was built by her late father, Bob Brooks.
He built a lot of the structures there. His home office had turned into my home office and my mom's home. was there that I grew up in, and then we lived right next door to her.
Allison knows her home was destroyed, but hadn't seen the damage in person. She gave our crew permission to go on her property, which had several buildings, and we FaceTimed her when we arrived to show her what was left behind.
That was my mom's house.
Her mom's house, her late dad's guitar shop, and her own home were burned to the ground.
This was our home. It was actually 3 stories. We had a basement.
She also lost her favorite part of the property, her dad's office, which he also built by hand. This is that same office now. You can see everything in it has been reduced to rubble. However, Allison says she still has the memories, and she still plans to call Alder Springs home.
Our community is really, really suffering, and just to keep us in your thoughts, and any help with rebuilding of the whole community is so appreciated.
It's just grown into this huge ordeal.
It's that spooky time of year when the ghastly ghouls and frightening monsters come out to play. And while Halloween is the holiday for tricks and treats, Colleen Spraggins says the scary season has become her form of therapy after devastating loss.
In August, I get all my Halloween stuff out and I start putting together my props.
Spraggins crafted the elaborate spiders and iconic characters that haunt the front of her Madera home herself. For her, the holiday means more than scares and sweets. The frightening display is actually a celebration of life for her late daughter Kylie, who died 18 years ago in a tragic accident.
I don't have a lot of memories to fall back on or refer to because I only had 10 short months with her.
The baby girl was born October 3rd. That's also the day Spraggins has her decorations up and ready to go each year.
And I always feel like she's kind of with me when I do this, like, you know, the ghosts and the spirits and things like that kind of refer to Halloween, so it kind of just falls into place for me.
It's a spectacle many have come from all over to see for the past 15 years, and it keeps growing larger each year. And when the decorations come down, Spraggins starts back up and gets to work on next October.